welcome back. This is week number, I don't know, episode 6, I think we are at right now, or 5. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyways, thank you for showing up, anyways. Today, I'm going to be working in my personal webcomic. It was originally called Churchill. It was about me living with a with a bird, a new bird. Um, and after that, it turned into the stories of me with the bird and Alistair, my cat, and the other cat, Nikita. And it became more of a my pets. So I changed the name from Churchill because I felt it was less about Churchill and more about the other pets to This Is Us. And it's more focusing on my life with my pets. I'm thinking about changing the name again because there's another show called the same way, and they're not related. Anyway, so today, every once in a while, I still try to create a page for the website. Although the website is under reconstruction at the moment, I still like to create something every once in a while or whenever I get the chance. So today, that's what we're going to do. I sat down and wrote down a script, an idea that I had, and I made some quick studies. Let me show that to you. Some of the studies. There you go. There it is. The Screaming Bird. Um, and that's what we're gonna work on today. I'm gonna show you guys how I do comic book of one page comic book for the website. So I'm going to change the camera now to the drawing table so that you can see what I'm doing instead of my beautiful face while we do this. Hopefully, we won't have technical problems today. Yay, it's working! Sweet. All right. Like every week, I like to show off one of the sketch covers I have available. This one's the Rocketeer. This one was really fun to do. I really like it. I might ink it later. You know what? That might be next episode. Inking this book, this cover. All right. Let me get that out of the way, and let's start sketching. I'm gonna turn some lights off here so that we don't have glare on the screen. Let me see. Yeah, that works. This is one of my most recent drawings. It's one for my. I'm gonna put it up on one of my stores, the merch store. Not one of mine, the only one that I have. Uh, so it'll be available in my Redbubble store soon. All right. So the first thing that we're going to when I'm working on a comic, the first thing that I do is I write down the idea in it. If it's just one sentence, uh, sometimes the idea I can get the whole idea in just one sentence, which is usually the punchline, and then I go back later and write something down and detail what I'm going to uh, what I'm going to draw in the page, and that's what I did today. You probably can see it. There's another drawing here, but I wrote down the idea, broke it down panel by panel, and after that, I made some sketches, some light stories of pictures I have of church. And once I have that ready, I then get to work, which I had already opened, set up one of the pages. This It's going to be a 9 by 12, 9 inches by 12 inches size canvas. Looks a little bit more yellow than I kind of like, but let me see if this would help. All right, let's make a test. You can see that pretty well here, right? That works. All right. So I know from the script that I just wrote that if how many panels I'm going to do this comic, this page. Um, I broke it down to 5 panels. Now I just, like I said, get to work. I know that I usually just make one very fast and at least draw the first one. And based on that one, I resize and I work around it. So the first panel is what people think living with a bird is. The reason I've had this idea for a while in my head is because everyone's like, "Oh, you have a bird? That's awesome! Must be so cool to have a bird in the house. Oh, you have a bird? It's so cool." And I always say the same thing. It's not. It's not. You have to really, really want to have a bird and have the time and the patience to have it. To give it the love that it needs, like every other pet. But they are really needy, and the problem is that they are loud, and sometimes it gets too much. So this comic is about what it really is to have a bird in the house. Obviously, it's gonna be a more comedic touch to it. It's not gonna be that serious because sometimes he can be very infuriating when he screams. So the first panel is what people think uh, living with a bird is. And usually, what I do is when I write it down, I write panel one, description of what it is, and that's enough. That's all I need. Once I read that, I know what I see, what I'm going to do with the panel. So let's try this again. Let's do another. Okay. Then I start resizing because I just wanted to get. So being that the last panel it's going to be the punchline, I already know that I don't like this layout. So we start again. If this would only let me, there it is. Bam. Would have been easier if I just hit clear. All right. So let's try the other way. Let's try with the first panel. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See, now that I have it like this, I'm thinking that maybe this would be a better option for it. And this is me. I copied this layout, this page layout from Tom Beeland's True Story Shortcut comic page. This panel can be bigger. Now I know. So I'm thinking now Do I want to make these panels like this and make them uneven to help tell the story better? Or do I want to break them all in the same size panel so that I can post them later on Instagram in the size of the Instagram grid, right? Uh, I sometimes go that route. I sometimes, when I think about the comic, I think about how it's going to read while you're flipping, you're swiping in your Instagram, and each one is a different panel, and how, depending on how fast, you can make it get faster to the punchline, or make it slower and make the joke work for you. Um, I think I got that right. Anyway, the point is that I sometimes go that route, and sometimes I go with what will help me tell the joke better on the page, right? And now I can tell you that I am struggling right now with this page layout. No, too big. This one's too big. Okay, have it like this. Again, I want the last panel to be the punchline. So I know now, again, with this layout, that I'm not too happy with it, because I want this panel to be maybe here. So let's get rid of that. Let's move this one here. Okay. All right. So this one's a little bit better. I'm still, I can make this two a little bit smaller, and then make this one a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. Going back to that layout that I mentioned earlier, he usually has a panel or two, and then he puts here like the title card would be here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it that way. I really like that layout, and it seems to be helping. That'll be title credits. Right. So I have a layout now that I'm happy with. So I can go ahead and start sketching in those panels. I'm gonna use a different pen for that, because it's the one that I really like. All right. So the first panel, I put in the description that living what people think living with a bird is, and it's a really pretty, quiet, chunky bird, a chunky bird, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing a nice chunky bird. I'm gonna do that on a different layer. Why? Because then I can turn this off whenever I want to, and I can work in a comfortable size. So how do you make a cute bird look cuter? You make it round. He usually doesn't have it like that. He's always up, because he's always angry and mean. And he has his cheeks here. Oops. No, no, no. I want you, there you go. More uniformed. I didn't want him to look mean, even though he would. I wanted to make it look cute, but I think that making him look mean, even though he's super cute, makes it even cuter. I don't know. Let's see. But now I have a basic sketch of how I want the bird to look. No, no, I don't like this. Let's leave it like that. A little bit like here. A bit of tiny cute heart here, and a tiny cute heart here, and another bigger, a little bit bigger, because he's a cutie bird. Man, if he wasn't that loud, he would be the perfect bird. He's super cute. All jokes aside, he's super cute. He's just super loud. So we have this tiny little bird, burb, right? And I'm going to use the panel. I'm just gonna make the bird alone, but I feel like we can add more to it to make it more right. So we're gonna put a hand here, or what I think a hand looks like. Okay, there. Okay. All right. So now I didn't plan to put that hand when I first wrote it, but I noticed that just the bird alone wouldn't be enough to convey the fact that it's your pet. I mean, it's obvious that it's your pet, but I want to make it clear, right? So now I'm thinking that I might add some dialogue here too, like me telling Churchill something about how pretty he is. Oh my God. A pretty bird. And he likes that. He likes it when you call him pretty. He goes like chirp. All right. So now I have it. I have the first panel. I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. There you go. Like that. That's better. We can do something like this in the hand. And someone asked me, what's the thing that has given you the most, what has been the most difficult to learn how to draw? I would say is the hands. Doesn't matter how many times I draw it. All right, let's finish that one. Let's see that panel like that for now. Because we're gonna go back over it later. I'm gonna make it look prettier. What so the first panel is what people think living with a bird is, right? Then I'm going to move this dialogue that I did not plan and put it a little bit lower, right? Because I need to put here. No, you know what? I'm still gonna move it, make it a little bit smaller, and move it here. But in the title credits, what people think, what is that? What is that Gambit? Think having a bird is, what it really is. One of the things that annoys me the most is that when I'm home, I'm trying to. I'm gonna do another layer. I'm gonna do every panel in a different layer. That way, I can move them around however I see fit. But one of the things that irritates me the most, um, it's true. Not all burps are as annoying as him, but he is really annoying. Anyway, so what annoys me the most about church, this thing that he does that gets to me is that when you're trying to listen to music or something, when I'm home, I want to hear some music while I'm cooking or something like that, and he just wants to scream and scream and scream and scream over everything. So every time he hears me say the name of the of the speaker that I have in the living room, he starts screaming to interrupt, and it uh, doesn't let the speaker hear my command. So it's infuriating because you have to tell the speaker a few times and like talk in between his screams and be fast about it, so that you can get your command in and the music starts playing. So the next panel is exactly that. It's me trying to put some music and he's just screaming. So okay, so first of all, let me make this panel a little. I can make this panel a little bit bigger. Freeform. It's a special bird. A special bird. So how do I make this point across in just one panel, right? Because that's all I wrote for panel is me trying to listen to music. So I'm gonna put myself standing here, right? Like, but what are you doing, Gambit? Well, I'm gonna be looking this way. This is my ear, right? My hair in a bun because I'm cooking. How do you know I'm cooking? Because I'm gonna put here a flowery apron. Now, where am I going to put this? This does not look at all like my kitchen, but for the purpose of this exercise, I'm gonna put the thing here. I refuse to say the name because the one here is going to listen to me. I just felt something crawling all over me. It was my own hair. Now, huh, where am I going to put church? Because church has to be in the panel. He needs to be in the panel. Okay, so we can. I'm gonna put him here in the way. Something that very something noticeable in his expression is that he always looks like he's angry, and he has the way his feathers uh here make a shape. It looks like he has like mutton chops. So we have him here screaming. Clean it a little bit because you can see too much of the background behind him, and we don't want that stupid thing further over here. And he's screaming over over everything. I'm gonna put an expression here because he's a very high pitched scream that he does. It's like ouch. So I'm going to try to get me to. It looks like I'm smiling. Oh shit, that's right. I don't have a beard anymore, so I can't. Now I have to actually draw the expression. That's it. Time to grow my beard again. Okay. No, no, I'm not liking this expression, so I'm going to have both eyes be like, ah. Okay, for now, for the purpose of hurrying up, that's my excuse for everything. I'm gonna still draw my beard so that. Okay, now let me make this a little bit bigger here. So it's for now like this. Oh, a big ear and my bun, messy bun, because I'm home cooking. All right. Oh, I forgot that I have to erase some of the speaker in the background here. All right. All right. So what did I wrote for panel three? Same thing. So this panel two and panel three are basically a continuation of the other one. I'm going to the panel three is me trying to cook and he's screaming. So that one I'm gonna change it. I don't know what I did, why I did that. Oh yeah, that's where I was. I was on the correct panel. A little bit bigger. Right. So since the what I wrote on the panel on the script for this next panel was me trying to cook, and technically that's what I'm doing here on panel two. I'm gonna change that scene. One of the other things that he likes to do is that when I get in the shower, he likes to get on top of the curtain rod and just scream at you until you grab him and get him in the shower with you because he wants to get wet too. And he's a clean bird, so I'll give him that. But it's annoying when you're. This is. I can guarantee you I can draw this whole scene by memory. In fact, I'm what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hide all of this. I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to draw that scene in its own panel. So this is the curtain rod, right? The curtain here. And he is going to be like here. Screaming. And this would be the shower rod or something like that. And I'm supposed to be here in the water, trying to get water. Hmm, some frustration. So I have a shower cap on because I'm not gonna get my hairs wet, but I'm defeated because he doesn't stop screaming. Sad Gambit. This is sad Gambit. I'm doing myself way bigger than I really am. Look at that. All muscle. Yeah, I don't like this. So we're gonna change this. This is a better expression. All right. So much for knowing what I was going to draw, right? I'm trying to get that uh, expression because it can get really annoying. Looks like I'm crying. Okay, wait, the shower cap. But he is the focus here. So let's go back to drawing the screaming bird. I want to emphasize that he is loud, so we make that beak super stretched. Gonna make him a little bit smaller than this. So I can put more of his grabs it like this. Screaming over everything. Uh, I need to get back to this because I do not like this expression. I can't seem to get that expression. But instead of focusing on staying and on just on that and staying in this panel forever, I am going to move on to the next because I still have to do other panels. Oh no, did I? Please tell me I did not do that. So I accidentally put the made the drawing for panel 2 in the layer on the wrong layer. Shoots. Shoots. Anyway, so this is going to be panel 3 uniform so that I can lose it. So because of the size of the panel, what I can do here, and I want him to be the emphasis of that panel too. I don't need too much detail. What I can do here is that I can just draw my silhouette instead of focusing on my frustrated expression. I can just put my silhouette here. This is the water hitting me. And I think it looks better. That way you don't focus on anything else that's not what I want you to focus, which is screaming bird. Yeah, it's a good panel. Okay, I can move to the next one. This one I think is really funny. I hope you guys find it as funny as I do. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just merge down all of these layers because now that doesn't matter now. But I'm still going to continue to draw them separately first. So the next panel is going to be a little bit more rectangular. Ta-ta! No, freeform. There you go. Now I got the size I want. Anyways, this is just for to sketch out the panel. So I'm gonna have him want him here. For this one, I'm going to emulate that meme of the bird screaming. It's just a big face of the bird and just screaming, right? But instead of painting it with the colors of that meme, I'm just gonna paint it with Churchill colors so that it's obvious that it's Churchill. And I made the mistake again of drawing in the same layer. Look at that, Gambit, you rookie amateur comic book artist. I mean, I never claimed that I was a professional, and I take advantage of that moment and I let you guys know that this is not a tutorial. This is how I do these things that I really like doing. So, if you have better ways to do it, easier ways to do it, different ways to do it, feel free to share them. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. It's like all anger. Just like church. So I made the mistake of making the beak too much to that side, and it kind of like messes up the angle. So more like this. There you go. That means that. There it is. Like I said, I want to stretch that because ah And I'm going to do it like that first, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Like that. I want to keep the cartoony each vibe to it. So that means that it's easier later to ink and color. Sorry, his eyes are so black, so dark. And you can see in his face when he's looking at you, you can see it that he hates you. He doesn't, he's just annoying. Here. And in the background. Oh my god, this hand has like all of the angles. And this one here. I bet you you're not gonna guess what I'm doing in the background. Super long arm. Look at this. My thumb is here. This is my hand and my phone. This is the other hand. The other way, Gabby. There you go. Kind of bored. I need to make church a little bit bigger because I want him to be in the way. So you can actually see, you just have an idea of where I'm at. Okay, so this hand here doesn't help. But I can put the other thumb here and the other hand coming back here. Or something like that. Something along those lines. Sitting like a shrimp. Big headed motherfucker. It's supposed to be marked to indicate that he's irritated, but it looks more like it's smelling bad. Which make the joke funnier, but that's not the joke. That's not what I'm trying to tell here. Churchill is not screaming because it smells bad. He's screaming because it's Churchill and that's what he does. So I just no, like what am I doing? Have you done this before, Gambit? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. The point is that I'm trying to, have a moment of solitude, and even that you can't get. In fact, if he was here, he would be probably in my hand screaming because that's all he does. Scream. Oh, what? Ah, Gambit. That's the wrong layer, my friend. Ah, stretch it. Make it big. Make that mouth really big. These are not wrinkly knees. What? Okay. There it is. And what I'm going to do here with the dialogue, I'm gonna erase my sigh. My catching day. To drive the point that I'm, you know, that meme that is just stupid bird. All right, let me see the other ones. Oh, I'm gonna merge those two down, and now I can make it as small as I need it. Should be like so. It's a nice size. And now I need to find a reference picture that I didn't find for this panel. Totally failed. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look it up. Let's see. There it is. I just find look for a bunch of cockatiel pictures and I'll find what I need. Let me see. Let me see. Running. Cockatiel bird running. Running, 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 running. Oh my god, so many pictures. Some of them are so cute. Okay, but I found what I needed. So, but I need to merge down, hide that, new layer. Actually, I don't need that. Let's draw bird like this. Still thing. It's supposed to be like running, so I'm gonna put one of the legs and the other one like coming up here. Right. Keeps running. It's like running towards you. But if he's has this thing up, it would be like right behind him. So put it back here. All right. And he's running at you, screaming because that's what he does. Scream and he's angry. Wow. And there's an explosion in the background because he is chaos. Stupid bird. I say stupid bird, but I love him. I really do. He's just annoying. Let's make that R bigger. Let me manipulate this a little bit more. There you go. And there it is. Oh, you know what would be cool too? If I put in the background, let me make this a little bit smaller. Not because it's gonna look like I need to try it. Chi-chi-chi. Yeah. So I'll make this one a little bit smaller. And then as a background, just a little bit like this. So we can squeeze in a T-Rex here. A poorly drawn T-Rex. This like and we put like this leg coming back here. You know what? Let me hide this layer here. And we put this big layer coming back here like this. I see tiny arms. Rar. Of course, I was gonna make a dinosaur. I'm gonna squeeze a dinosaur in here. Right. Then the other leg, like he's All right, since I'm making that from that leg towards you so big, I need to make this one bigger. Yeah, you go. Like looks closer to you. Something like that. I'll find a reference picture in a few minutes and actually draw the right way. Well, something that looks like an actual T-Rex running and not this lizard that's having a stroke. Okay, so but I like this idea. I like in the background, like your ancestors are dinosaurs, and he knows it. Let me mask that because I don't want to erase the whole thing. I want to erase all of this, but I don't want to erase it like a hard stop because I don't want it to look like it just stops. It's more like a silhouette in the background, right? So I'm going to lower its opacity to make sure that, to drive the point that it's just how he sees himself instead of drawing it fully. And I try to have the dinosaur mimic the same pose as Churchill running with this leg leaping forward while he's like running that way. You can tell what I'm trying to express here. And I like that. So I'm gonna put these two in the same layer. Nah, Latin like that. If I need to draw the legs on the other one, I'll draw it later. And now I know that this is going to be, right? This is the last panel. And I can make it a little bit bigger. So what I can do is that I go back here and make this panel that's separated from the rest and leave it, make it like just a little bit. This one, I want it bigger, but although the idea looks cool of having the T-Rex breaking outside of the panel, I am still going to keep it inside the panel. Let me see. Let me see. Nah, we can have it breaking the panel here. Let me see how that looks. Because if I have the dinosaur breaking that panel up, I don't know what I'm going to do yet with that one. Haven't decided if I'm going to break it up or not. But that's how I do the whole page. Oh my God, it's already an hour in. So next week I'm going to be inking this thing, or probably not. I will probably be inking the Rocketeer one, and I will finish this one off screen. Or I haven't decided yet. Look at that. Either way, you're going to see the final product soon. This is how I turn an idea into a script, and then into some studies. And then I sketch out the whole page, and after this would be I would lower down the opacity of these panels, right? And I will create a new panel over it. And I would, this thing has a drawing guide. See how it makes, I don't know if you can see it. See how it has the markings, a grid. That way I know exactly how big those grids are going to be. So I usually, since this is a 9 by 12 page and I want to visualize it how it would look in a 9 by 8 paper if I printed it, I edit that and turn it into inches. That way I know that each square is about an inch big and I have an idea of how it's going to look when I print it. Because eventually I'm going to collect all of these comics into one paperback and print it as a collection. So once I have that, I go in and I activate the drawing assist on the layer because that is going to help me draw the panels as if I was using a ruler, right? Based on the other panels, now I know how I'm going to the sizes that I need. Oh, look at that! I have the panels. I want them. I'm going to work with those, play with those sizes a little bit because I don't like it that I don't like how uneven they are. I didn't want them all even, but there's it's just I need a little bit more coherence between them. But after I do the panels, I then go and create another layer and I start inking, and now it will be just making sure that I get cleaner lines, make sure that try not to lose the energy of the sketch, which is something that I, I feel like happens every time I make a drawing, that I lose something when I sketch it. But put like 6 nails in this thing. All right. And little heart. Remember to always draw them nails so that doesn't look weird. And that's how I would go about the inking part of the. I do that with all of the panels, and then it comes. I go to the to add colors, and that will be a different layer. So what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna leave it like that for today because it's already an hour. And next week I will definitely continue this one, and I'll show you my other part of the process. So remember to check out my Instagram page, Gambit Sync, my website, gambitsync.com. My website is under reconstruction at the moment, but it should be up real soon. If you want to check out my merch store, you can go and find it on Redbubble, Gambit Sync. I also have a coffee account. I don't know why I turned that camera off when what I needed to do was this. I also have a coffee account. It's the same as everything else. It's Gambit Inc. Thank you so much for watching and being there. Haha. Thank you, Skaven. Skaven from Red Hammer Games. Every Friday we do a streaming playing RPGs on his channel. So role playing games. So check it out. It's in Spanish though. So I'll see you next week. I said so many times. I'll see you next week, same time, Tuesday at 6 p.m. The same bat channel at the same bat time. Thank you so much. Bye.